Hello and welcome to Stage Door Series. Today we're going to be speaking with Mitch Greenberg. He's one of the lead actors in Two Jews Walk Into a War.
Exactly.
Exactly. Two Jews Walk Into a War. It sounds like a setup for a joke.
I think that's the point. That's why he gave it that title.
So tell me about, what is this show about?
It is about, and I just heard your Canadian accent. Mm-hmm.
You are correct.
It's about the last two surviving Jews in Afghanistan. And this is based on a completely true story. These two men who absolutely hated each other, but were thrown together in the last surviving synagogue in Kabul, the capital. And they somehow have to find a way to get along.
I remember a New York Times article about this specifically. Is that where it's come from? Is that the...
I think that was the inspiration for writing the play. And it's really very funny. But I don't know if I should give anything away.
Absolutely. First of all, give everything away. Okay, give everything away.
It ends like this.
No, not where it ends, but it's been described, I noticed in the PR from Playhouse on Park, it's described as full of sorrow, shtick, and...
What was the other one?
I cannot recall the other one. Sorrow, shtick, and survival.
And survival, yes.
So let's talk about the shtick.
Yes, there isn't that much shtick. You know, shtick, in my mind, usually involves physical comedy. There is a lot of what you might call vaudevillian comedy, you know, set up, punch. There's a lot of that. And I think it gets less and less as the play goes on. It kind of sucks you in so that you say, oh, it's going to be a comedy, it's hilarious, blah, 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 and then things take a different turn. It does stay amusing all the way through. But just for an example, and you'll find this in the first 5 minutes of the show, where there is a particular punchline that's clearly written to be a punchline, the author has written in that it's to be punctuated with a gunshot from outdoors, because the city is always in the middle of a war, which is the point of the play.
So does that increase the humor, or does that bring it down to survival?
No, well, we hope it increases the humor. It's like a rim shot, you know. Somebody says, blah, 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 to get to the other side. Boom, there's that. So the gunshots provide the rim shots. But they also get less and less as time goes on. So I would not say it's shticky. I'd say it's sometimes a little hammy, but most often very grounded in reality and genuinely funny. So
the three descriptive words that we used was shtick, sorrow, and survival. Of those three words, what is the most poignant? Which word best describes?
I think survival.
Survival.
Because the only sorrow is if you step away from the world of the play and imagine these two guys really going through this circumstance and what has happened to the entire country of Afghanistan, there's sorrow there, but it doesn't infuse the entire play, I think.
So these two Jews, they're in this synagogue, and they want, what do they want?
They want to continue the Jewish tradition as best they can, as only two people, and one of them, my character particularly, wants to try and repopulate the Jewish community, starting from zero.
It's a noble cause.
Right, a noble cause that's pretty much dead on arrival, because there's no women, no Jewish women.
So there's no
left.
sex?
Not in the play. It's talked about, a fair amount of sex talk, which is very funny, actually. And what they want is to survive.
So you're Mitch Greenberg. I'm going to make an assumption. Mitch Greenberg is Jewish.
Exactly right.
Whatever, but Mitch Jewish is Greenberg. Tell me, and your other actor is Bob Ari.
Yes.
And the director is David Hammond. All three of you are Jewish people. Does that really make a difference?
I believe it makes a huge difference. Not only because we all speak the same language in terms of we're all within like a 3 or 4 year age bracket, and we all are originally from New York, so we have immediately a common sense of say things and we understand them. Excuse me. So, and also it gives us a better understanding of those particular Jewish isms that Seth Rosen has written into the play.
And he's Jewish also.
He's Jewish also. And at least as far as I know, I can't imagine he wouldn't be, given the things he's written. But I never asked him, are you Jewish? I assume he is. And so, yes, and because many of the themes within the play are Jewish-centered, Jewish-based, we come with a pre-knowledge of what it means.
Right. When I also noticed that the two sponsoring organizations are Jewish Federation of Greater Hartford and Jewish Community Foundation of Greater Hartford,
right,
also Jewish organizations.
Which I didn't know until I saw the cover of the playbill.
Yes, you know. Yes. And I noticed in your resume, and I saw you also, you were in Shana Maidala at the Playhouse on Park,
right.
And you were also on Broadway in Fiddler on the Roof.
Yes, I was.
So am I taking a jump if I ask you, Fiddler on the Roof is a Jewish play, really, really clearly, but it has gone over and above. It's played in Japan, in France, in China. It's all over the world, yep. Because the themes are so common. Do you see this happening for this play? Is it universal?
I think not.
What about this play speaks that to you? Why do you say that?
Well, first of all, it's not about family, and it's not much, it's only a little bit about tradition as such. So I don't think it has a wide appeal ahead of it. You know, it's not going to be done in Japan, as far as I know. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Let it be done in Japan. I'm perfectly happy.
You could be wrong.
And I could be wrong.
Right.
This is all opinion. It's a very specific to time and place, and to the type of people involved. So I don't think we're going to get a lot of Finland produces this play. I don't think. Right,
but the theme, the Afghanistan theme, is an important theme. I mean, we're in the middle of that history. Yeah. We're not looking back. We're going to look forward. So that Afghanistan theme is so strong. Does a person have to be politically connected to watch this play?
Well, you have to have read the newspaper in the last year or two.
But not a lot.
Not a lot. You just have to know that Afghanistan is in trouble. It has been for years. It's been invaded and taken over and destroyed and rebuilt and repopulated. Everybody and their uncle has decided to invade Afghanistan, and they go back and forth between who's ruling. It's never the Afghans who are ruling their own country. It's somebody else.
So could you say that this was an American play set in history?
Well, it's very current. It's set in 2005, I think it is,
right.
Or 2010.
Right.
And it's a tipping point in history. It's when certain factions have taken over the country and certain other ones are being driven out. It's not from 100 years ago. It's from right now.
Well, my main interest, as I listen to you and as I read, this is the 13th season for Playhouse on Park. It's a real important play because it's the first play coming out of COVID, and it's historical, it's American, it's Afghanistan, it's current, and we have 3 Jewish actors playing, two Jewish actors and 1 Jewish director, and what I'm hearing is that it's an important play for those reasons.
Yes, I think so. And I'll tell you, when I first read it, I didn't feel the importance, but over the course of rehearsals, David Hammond, the director, is very erudite. He does his homework. He reads up on the background of things and the background of people and the historical significance of this and that. And by the time we were done rehearsing, we had a lot of background information that went into the playing of the play.
Is that important for you to have?
It is, actually, very much so. I've certainly done plays where I don't delve deeply into the background of the play's setting or the character. And you can still do the play because you read what's on the page.
Well, you've done the play before. You played Zeblyan. How do you pronounce it?
It's very close. Zeblyan.
Zeblyan, and now you're playing Ishaq.
No, I didn't. I never did Zeblyan before.
So who did you do before?
I never did this play before.
Aha. So somehow in my mind, I connected you with this play.
Yes, I don't know why.
But you did do Fiddler on the Roof.
I did do Fiddler.
And you did do 4 or 5 episodes of
Law and Order.
Of Law and Order.
Yes.
So I'm there.
Okay.
So when you tell people to come and see this play, what would you tell them would be the big take-home messages?
Well, one thing that happens in the play is that, I don't want to give too much away,
But
in real life, the two guys that this was inspired by hated each other forever. They never became friends. In our play, there's a little more of a rapprochement. They begin to understand each other, to tolerate each other. So there's that. So it's a little bit of a heartwarming story in which these two people come closer together. But mostly, I think, is the funny. We do funny very well. And we have a great chemistry. And people, I think, will just enjoy watching us work. And if they want to think more deeply, they'll think what a tragic situation it is for Afghanistan, for the Jewish people in Afghanistan, of whom there are now none, as far as we know. The last one very publicly left Afghanistan about 2 weeks ago, after refusing to leave for many years. I just think it's a pretty well-written and well-played, fun and funny and touching play.
And so what's next for Mitch Greenberg? I mean, you've been around for a long time. You've done a lot of things. I remember reading that you were trained, Sanford Meisner and Uta Hagen. I mean, those are big, big figures in the teaching, the acting teaching. So what's next for Mitch Greenberg?
Well, as I started to say when we were not on camera, a friend of mine is producing a revival of a play that I'd very much like to do, and I won't know until we get done here, I think, whether I'm going to get a chance to do it or not. So I have my fingers crossed for that. And then this other play by Seth Rosen, our author, is going to be done in Philadelphia in, I guess, in the beginning of next year. And they've already called me to ask me if I would like to do it, so I said yes. But that may well be what's next if I don't get the thing that my friend is producing.
Okay, so we're all hoping.
We're
all hoping, yeah. We're still hoping. So Playhouse on Park, the play is on right now, and it goes on till October
10th.
Till October the 10th. So everyone has an opportunity to go, and tickets are on sale right now, and audiences are coming, and they're mixed audiences. What kind of audience are you getting?
Very mixed, and you can. I hate to say it, but you can usually tell the percentage of Jews in the audience by what they laugh at. You know?
How interesting. How
Very.
interesting.
And certain audiences laugh all the way through, talk back to the stage. Certain other ones are very quiet and then give you a standing ovation at the end. You just never quite know how people are reacting until you hear it or see it. You know?
Well, so it sounds very entertaining to me.
It
and
is.
I'm interested in seeing a play that's all by Jews, but not for Jews. It's for the world.
We had a woman in the audience who did a moment of talk back after Sunday's matinee, whose opinion was that if you're not Jewish, you probably won't understand it. And I said, no, I think that's not true, because I had friends who came and saw it who were not Jewish, and they loved it.
Right.
So, you know, that's...
It's an American play written about a historical time in history now, acted by 2 Jews, but it could also be acted by non-Jews?
I imagine it could. You just have to have a sort of a... You have to have an open mind and have read something and seen something to just know the essence of that amount of Judaism that's in the play.
You have to know there's an Afghanistan.
Well, yeah,
Minimum.
That helps.
Minimum.
You have to start with that.
So thank you very much,
My
Mitch.
pleasure.
I'm not going to shake your hand. We're in the middle of COVID. We're observing some COVID precautions.
Right.
But we're talking Playhouse on Park. The show is on till October the 10th. And
Come on down.
Come on down, come on down, and be there.